So, when two addicts get together, you can expect anything to happen. But when these two alcoholics got together, they made a miracle plan. The 12 steps saved millions. But they left something out. What were they thinking? Did they forget it? The answer is coming up. So, in this video, we're diving into something that's not officially in the 12 steps. But it's where your journey really begins. We call it Step 0. It's a concept that originated within AA itself, and it's been around a long time. So right now, you might not even be in recovery. You may not even be sure you need to be, but something brought you here. Many of us in recovery call it Step 0. I want to talk about that in a moment. But first, my name is Glenn, and I'm a recovered alcoholic. I was addicted to alcohol for 40 years, and by the grace of God, I've been sober now for over 5,000 days. Everything I share is just my opinion, and it comes from my experience in recovery and from Christian principles. Your way to sobriety may be different, and that's okay. Just get there. So, what is Step 0? Well, it's the space before Step 1. It's the moment when denial starts to crack, when your heart tells you something's not right. I think I need help. I'm willing to try anything. But you're not ready yet to call yourself an addict or an alcoholic. You're not swearing off anything. You haven't admitted you're powerless, but you feel something shifting, changing. So Step 0 is when we begin to get honest with ourselves, even if it's just in quiet thoughts. We're not in full surrender yet, but we're starting to listen. We're willing. So let me take a minute to tell you about my Step 0. I was at the end of a relapse. Yeah, I had relapsed in my early sobriety. I was sitting alone and honestly feeling sick and tired, emotionally drained from holding everything together on the outside while I was falling apart on the inside. And I remember looking in the mirror one night and thinking, who is this person looking back at me? This isn't who I want to be. It's not me. I wasn't ready to call it addiction yet. I still thought maybe I could fix it myself. But that night, something cracked. And in that quiet moment, I said to myself, Self, I can't keep doing this. I have to get off of this train. That was my Step 0. Step 0 leads to Step 1 in the 12 steps of recovery. So what about these 12 steps? Where did they come from? Well, in case you're not familiar with the 12 steps of recovery, here's a 1.5 minute, very brief, condensed, encapsulated history. So the story goes back to 1935. A man named Bill Wilson, a New York stockbroker struggling with alcoholism, met Dr. Bob Smith, a surgeon in Akron, Ohio. But he was also an alcoholic. So at that time, they were just trying to figure out how to stay sober. And Bill realized that just by talking to another alcoholic and sharing his story, it made something amazing happen. And that was the beginning of Alcoholics Anonymous. But was it enough? Well, apparently not. So in 1939, they published what became known as the Big Book, and inside were the now famous 12 steps. But these weren't just instructions, they were an outline of principles that worked in real life. Many of these ideas were adapted from a Christian movement called the Oxford Group. But AA made them available to everyone. So it all starts with the first step. We admitted we were powerless over alcohol and that our lives had become unmanageable. But most people don't just jump into Step 1, like jumping off a cliff. Something has to happen first. And for some, there's a feeling of desperation. For others, a feeling of hope. When it happens, that's Step 0. Willingness and honesty. So, Step 0 is when the internal debate begins. But you might be saying to yourself things like, do I really have a problem? Can I manage this if I just try harder? What if I just stop for a little while? Sound familiar? So here's the thing. Those questions aren't signs of weakness. They're signs that illusion of control is slipping and honesty is starting to take its place. But it's not always easy. It's the first time that we stop defending the thing that's been destroying us and we're willing to try something different. And sometimes that's the hardest and most courageous step of all. So here are some signs that you might be in step 0. You're starting to feel exhausted by your own behavior, like getting up at 5 a.m. for work after you've been out partying all night. Or maybe you've made promises to quit but can't seem to follow through. The old "I'll quit tomorrow" excuse. Or maybe you feel a growing discomfort even when things look fine on the outside and you're screaming or crying on the inside. You're starting to say things like,
"I don't know what's wrong with me."
Or, "God, please get me off this train." These are the early warning signs, the internal alarms. But there's good news. And the good news is you're not crazy. You're not weak. You're just waking up. So here's something I found out, and I think it fits step 0 perfectly. It's a passage from the Bible, and it's from Romans 7:15, where Paul says, are you ready for this? He didn't say that. He says, "I don't understand what I do. For what I want to do, I don't do. But what I hate, I do." Wow. Sound familiar? So that verse reminds us that even in ancient times, people wrestled with the same issues that we do, wanting to change, but feeling stuck and unable to stop. Step 0 is that moment of recognizing the pattern and beginning to reach for something greater. But how do we move from step 0 to step 1? Well, that usually starts with a small act of courage, saying the words out loud. I think I need help. Walking into a recovery meeting like AA or NA, even if you don't say a word, just sit there, listen. Here's my opinion. There's so many different ways you can start your journey. Just start. Step 0 leads to step 1 by building readiness. But be honest, because the more honest you get, the more that first step feels like relief instead of defeat. In my experience, I've found that honesty is the bedrock of recovery. So if you're thinking, wow, that's exactly how I feel right now. If you're ready and willing, I want you to know something. You don't have to take all 12 steps today. You don't even have to take the first step right now. But if something inside you is changing, if you're feeling that ache, that feeling that it's time for a change, it might just be the beginning of something beautiful. You're at step 0. So whether you're on step 0, step 1, or step 12, know this. You're not alone. You're not broken beyond repair. And you're not hopeless. You're exactly where you need to be. If this video spoke to you, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button or share it with somebody who might need it. Let's keep walking the road together, one honest moment at a time. Until next time, stay honest, stay open, and stay convinced that recovery is possible. God bless you. God bless our veterans. And remember, somebody out there loves you.